Hello there. Today's video is a floral farmhouse grapevine wreath. I had a lot of fun making it and I can't wait to share it with you. I'm Whitney with Crafty Thoughts Whatnots, and let's jump into the craft room. So we're going to start out with a grapevine wreath, but well, actually no, we're not. We're going to put this to the side. It's just a proof. Yes, there will be wreath. There's proof of life. There's a wreath there. First, we're going to take this sign. Now, this is a very cute sign. It has some questionable content for those of you who may or may not have or share my sense of humor. Now, this is a company I got it from off of Etsy. They no longer sell on Etsy, and I don't think you can get them. But I do have, I think, 4 of these signs, and I like them because they're funny. So if you don't think it's funny, I will cover this up, and I will replace the wording with something a little bit more, I don't know, cute. I mean, it's cute no matter what. If you share that sense of humor, it's like, well, we'll just say sugar. Poot. Sugar poot. My little sugar poot. It's okay. We're going to make sure the O shows sugar poot, because it's very important that that O in poot is very legible. Anywho. So this is going to say, well, sugar poot. You know, that way YouTube will remain happy. But the rest of you know what I mean, and you're with me. So this sign here is inspired by my grandmother, who loved to call me short sugar, among other loving things. My grandma had the wonderful sense of humor, and also I get a lot of that from her as well. So obviously her talent in creating things in her floral arrangements and decorations and gift wrapping, but then also her sailor's mouth. So in any event, she would love this. This basically is something I had planned for many years. I'm going to show you this like I did in one of my last videos. I had a bundle of flowers I bought probably 6 years ago and have had them sitting somewhere. I had a wreath plan. Now my Post-it note fell off, so we got to make sure that stays on there. And what I wanted to do is I needed this sign to have a little bit more oomph to it, so I just grabbed some rope. Now this is a piece of also from my stash. I think this is from Michael's, but nautical rope from Dollar Tree will work a-okay as well. So I just wanted to add a little bit of rustic and also put a border around it that didn't require me to cut any wood. Now, here I'm going to show you our bundle of flowers. Boom. Now, I put this arrangement together inside Michael's many years ago, and it's been sitting bundled like this in my craft stash for a long time. I wanted to make a wreath with it, and I knew that not necessarily the color palette was per se my grandmother, but basically any color palette that you go with that starts to look good together. This is very, I don't know, spring, Eastery, corally. I'm showing you that I got it at Michael's because in my last video I did the same thing with one of these others. I'm taking things that have been in the stash for a while, and I'm randomly just making them. I've been wanting them to be, I've been planning to make these things for years. So I'm grabbing them and I'm making one-off videos. So this is a short video today, but here I've already processed all of my stems. So I cut the stems, I took the tags off, and now here I'm going to buff up the wreath a little bit with these bundles here off of Amazon. This is just eucalyptus items I got off of Amazon, which you can take a peek of that. My Amazon shop is linked in the description and the first pinned comment below. But we're going to bundle up or buff up, or, we're going to use those Amazon eucalyptus pieces to fill in the bottom or the back of the wreath where greenery would need to show. So I'm showing you here, this is a 14-inch wreath. I believe that said naturals. I think this is Ashland. Yeah, that's a Michael's brand. So it's a 14-inch wreath. Now I want to show you off to the side here. I'm going to record separately because I can't move my camera. I have my glue pot ready to go. So this is a little glue skillet, which you can use the ones for the kitchens and all that goody stuff. And what we're going to do for the wreath is we're going to take the stems, we're going to dip it in the glue pot, and then we're going to put them in our wreath. So that way you can see what I did off to the side, because my stationary camera, I don't move like that. So I wanted you to see what the glue pot is and exactly how it's going to be put together today. So everything I'm popping in this wreath has been dipped into hot glue in that skillet, which is very fun to use. It's very convenient for these types of arrangements, or it's basically a wreath. So this is a permanent item. None of this stuff is coming out. And I took 2 of those Amazon eucalyptus bundles, cut them all up, and I'm just literally randomly throwing them in here. Now, I kind of haphazardly, well, not wholeheartedly, right? So if you're doing haphazardly, it's only like halfway to, please explain to me what that means, you guys. Does you say half or hap? Anyways, we're taking the 2 hydrangea bushes and I'm just tucking them in. And now you'll see me grab the sign from time to time to see about placement. And every time I do that, it doesn't end up at the end, like right here. That's not what it looks like. it doesn't make a difference. So it's like, what's the method to my madness? It's like, well, I had planned on trying to keep that in mind. So I had the right, focus there. Like, don't forget your sign, don't forget your sign. And I ended up just tucking it in off to the side, which I think it turned out really great anyways. And this is definitely inspired from my grandmother. If she was with me today, she would love this wreath 100%. And the sentiment on the sign as well, because that's just who my grandmama was. She was very creative and very, very talented. And that's where I get all of my goodies from, including her sense of humor. It comes through for my mom as well, but my grandma was the creator. She was the very, very gifted floral decorator, ribbon, gift wrap maker. I mean, you name it. She had many hats. So this wreath is definitely inspired for her. So, and also it's mine. I'm keeping it. It's on the back of my front door, so I can see it every time I walk through my house. But these colors, the lime greens, the turquoise, the cream colors, I usually will go into the stores if they're having a good sale, and I will start to put the bundles together. And then when I go out to the checkout, I ask them, can you keep these together in a bag? And then when I get home, I take them out of the bag so that they're not crumpled. And then I tie that bag around the stem to keep that arrangement together. So I know that was the purpose of what I did when I went to the store. Now, I have this sped up about 8 times. I am just randomly taking these picks and pushing them into the wreath. I'm using the wreath frame like you would almost a piece of styrofoam. The grapevine itself was pretty densely packed. It wasn't that bad. And every piece of this has hot glue on it. So none of this stuff will come out. And I'm just kind of layering these things together. Now, I did have one extra, like these little turquoise daisies here. I had one extra bundle off to the side that I didn't use. But I am going to tuck some more stuff. Now, this was one of those extra pieces I bought because I said, oh, this is going to add some interest to it. It's a little bit more on the expensive side, but all of this stuff, I mean, as I was cutting the tags off, I had to have gotten there at a really good sale that time of the year when I bought these, because some of these stems were only like $1.29. Some of them were $2.99. But regardless, I did not spend as much money for the quality of flowers that we have in this wreath here. This is easily a $120 wreath, selling for retail, with the amount of flowers. But again, I probably spent, maybe $25, $30 on these flowers. And let me tell you, they're very good quality flowers. So this is how we're going to tuck in our sign here. So going to have a little bit diagonal. It's going to cover up one of the hydrangea, but don't worry, because from different angles, you will see different parts of your arrangements, right? So not everything has to show 100%. Now, I wasn't exactly happy about some of that stuff being covered up, but again, when you're looking at it from the side, if you're looking at it from a different direction, you're going to see it. So I used some hot glue and some staples. It is a very thick wooden sign, so there was no worry of that. But to make it just a little bit more, again, I needed a third way to secure this to the sign, right? So I'm taking my craft tape, and this is just for my own peace of mind. Most of this stuff doesn't really make much sense what I do, but I'm covering up the glue and the staples so it kind of looks a little bit more nicer. Again, I'm using these green chenille stems or pipe cleaners, and this is where the difficulty begins. I took an inordinate. Why are words not my forte anymore, you guys? I don't know. It took me a crazy amount of time. So at this point, I'm going to call this the sugar poot show, like for the sign. Trying to get this through here took so long. I was trying to get stems to get through there, and of course these pipe cleaners and chenille stems were not strong at all. So I just flipped it over and then found a way, dug through some of the vines to get at least one side of the chenille stem through the wreath, and then secured it the rest of the way. Now for this side, I ended up having to extend them out because I could not get them to reach through the flowers, the thickness of the bundled up florals I had below it. But I did not want to smush it down and squish the wreath either, or squish the flowers below it. I needed it to have, the height on the right side, because it does look like the sign is just tucked into your wreath. So what you can't see is that I basically tied the chenille stem to another chenille stem and then pulled that through the wreath to put that on the back. And that's how I ended up doing that. It ends up it looks like a chain, almost a chained effect through the inside, because I just basically needed almost double the amount of length to get that through that side for it to still pop up on the one side. Again, if I had pulled it through with just the one stem, it would totally smush the rest of it behind it, and it would look pretty, it wouldn't look very good. It would look forced, and just know what we want to do. We want this thing to still be pretty. So Here I thought I was done, but there's like, no, I like to cover up the behind the scenes. So as much as I can, these are just the leaves from the hydrangea stems, but I mean, I have many, many more. I usually save big leaves like this for this exact reason. This can cover up a lot of the behind the scenes that you don't want seeing. So if this wreath ends up, or if you're making a wreath such as this or this style, you can use the leaves to cover up your, glues or stems, or if you put a wreath hanger on there. Me, I'm covering up the chenille stems that the sign is attached to, somewhat enough of the back of the sign to where I'm happy with it. If it goes on a glass door or window or storm door, you see the back of it. I won't have that because we don't have those here where I'm from. But here I thought I was done. And I'm showing you everything. Look at different angles. It's a very full, pretty thick wreath. I love her. But I also have this baby's breath I got from Amazon also. And again, it's also linked in my Amazon shop. You can take a peek at it. Very affordable. You get a decent amount of it too. And I thought, I've added this to so many things this past spring or just this year since I have bought this baby's breath. I love it. It's a plastic flower bud on there, but it doesn't look cheap. It's just a good quality. So just wanted to share that with you. And this added just the right touch that made me like, okay, this is sealing it. Look at how that baby's breath finishes that off with that little pop of white in there. It was like, yeah, that's what it needed. And it looks good next to those cream colored roses. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't take away from it. It adds to it. I love mixing those colors together. Things that you wouldn't think go together, just try it and see if it makes your happy, your craft happy, your crafty heart happy. Made my eyes so happy. I love it. Made me so happy. Now, I'm going to do another pan over and do some pictures without the Post-it notes. So if this is something that you are not into, please look away. Just listen to my voice. But look how cute this is. So you've got this very grand, elegant, high-end floral arrangement. And then you just have this this sign in the middle that just adds an element of comedy to it that I can't help but love. So I mean, this is displayed in my home, and again, if my grandmama was with me today, she would absolutely love every second of this. So, anyways, that's all for today, guys. I appreciate you all being here. I have a coffee page, so if you feel like you've learned anything or you like my videos and you want to support me, feel free to drop a donation there. And also my DIYs will be for sale in there too. Take a peek at that. There's a link in the description below. And with all that said, thank you so much. I love you more than I could possibly say in words. Many hugs, happy crafting, and I'll see you in the next video, which this one was a short one. I will be back with more. I'm already recording again as we speak, and I got some thrift flips coming, so that was a little teaser for the next video. Again, thank you so much. Love y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.